Hey everybody, it's me, Felicia of the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with the Voice. I'd like to extend to you a personal invitation to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Blog Talk Radio at 2 p.m. Central. All you've got to do to be a part of the show is dial 515-605-9357. Again, that number is 515-605-9357 to either listen or have your voice or opinion heard. That's on Blog Talk Radio, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. Central. The water was gone. And then a little bit later, it would come back. Does anybody remember that? Let me look over here at the chat. Yes, July 5th. Absolutely, Maureen. And Zeb Johnson, how are you? I don't know whether nobody remembers it. I wish that I could find it. Yes, Betty R. Yes, Betty R. The reservoirs had been drained. And there were several different areas. It was like, it would be like Italy, and I'm using as an example these cities or states or countries because I don't remember exactly. I should have been more keen and paid more attention. All I remember, hey, good morning, political scientist. Sarah Brown, hey, pretty lady Sharon Marie, how's it going? I was wondering if anybody else remembered, Betty remembered, there were large amounts of water that were missing and people were taking pictures of it. I remember distinctly there being a dock, and the lady showed the dock, and she showed where the, where you walk on a little boardwalk area, and then up under that where the 2 posts or the 4 posts were all the way down to the bottom. And ironically, she had just taken a picture beforehand and it showed how high it was. I think maybe a kid or something was there. Hey, Leaf Desi. Casey reported on that. Okay. Are you the person? Somebody suggested to me a person, and I saw it yesterday on the messages, and I don't know who it was, but they recommended that I look at somebody. You know, a lot of times when I get videos, a lot of times if it's dealing with a lot of times when you guys send me a video, I may watch it or I may shine an eye it. And if I shine an eye it, that means I just skim it. And the reason why I just skim it is because I get a lot of things that come to me, and I don't want to take what somebody else has said or made in a video and then misconstrue what my messagings are. If that sounds crazy, I'm sorry. That's just how I am. But there have been a couple of videos that I saw this morning when I was going through MSNBC, whatever, and they have the YouTube videos sometimes that'll show. And I was looking at a man who was covering Lake Mead. It was he and his sons. I don't know his name, so I'm not sure if I could actually use this video without getting an uppercut or a body blow. So I'm not going to try to use it, but I think I can show you his channel, and then you guys, for reference sake, would be able to go and find this. I'm going to try to find it for you guys, but it's like on one of these things right here. Okay, so look right here. So what they do is they give you this little thing. It's like a big little board. I rarely use them, but lately I found it pretty interesting that they have all of these little stories here. Now, in here, there was the guy who has a home, but he also he has a boat, and he was helping this older gentleman with his boat. And it was Lake Mead. But here's what I'm talking about. And I saw the story over here and I clicked it. His was a YouTube. Now I'll watch stuff like that because it'll confirm what I've already received in my spirit. But if it's somebody else's take on like, it's hard for me to describe it. I just want to keep my pipeline between the Father and myself clear, so that when I receive something from him, I know that it's not something else I heard. However, there was someone who left a message on the comments over on Headlines and said, I've really been trying to get you to watch this person, but I don't remember the name of the individual. And because this person feels like, hey, I need to see this person. I really want to see him. That's what I really, really want to see him. Okay. Is who my daughter, Ryan? Ryan, is who? Are you talking to us, Ryan? Or are you talking to somebody else, baby? Um, so anyway, yeah, I want to make sure. I remember something in Michigan about a private dam. Let me see here. About a private dam. They said that it was unsafe and had to shut down, and that caused the lake. Really? Well, Lake Mead is pretty much a mystery. It's like history now. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. It's so much out there. Absolutely, Leaf Jesse. Yeah, Lake Mead is really sad right now. What's going on with it? How it looks, how they've drained it, and all of that. And so I don't know. We looked at it. I'm sure I overloaded you guys with information. If you came on to headlines yesterday, because in that box of information down there with all the production notes, you're going to find link after link with story after story, as well as a large appendix dealing with Michigan, and Michigan and a couple of other places. And that compact that they have is so conveniently written, and it has so much legalese in it that it gets regular people just frustrated. So you don't even want to read it any further. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go any further and read it any more than you have. Hold on just a second. Someone's calling me. Yes, sir. Oh, oh, okay. Coffee cake. What else you getting to go with the coffee? Yikes. So here's the deal. I think that really I'm listening but driving. Sarah Brown says Edenville and Sanford dams failed in an hour, and this caused the lake to disappear. My gosh. You guys, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that is so creepy to me. It's really, really creepy because when you look at all the stuff that we know and you see all the things that are going on, it's like all this other stuff that we're talking about. These are the things that can really harm everybody. Not having water, which converts to energy. Gee willikers, Lake Mead, how many people? Several people get their everything when you consider Lake Mead. This is not good. This is all right. All right, so let's get into some more of this stuff, you guys. So this is the little deal that I like here. I like it because it does have like little boxes, and even though I don't necessarily read a lot of the mainstream stuff, what it does do is it makes me take the topic and then I'll go and I'll search it out and I'll find it in another place. But again, you guys, we're just chilling this morning. We're just, reading some headlines together. That's really what we're doing. That's all we're doing. And so we're just going to read a few. We're going to look at a couple. And after we look at a couple, we'll just go from there. So let's see. Trump flirtation with 2024 run growing more serious, sources say. Let's glance over this, shall we? Let's glance over this one. Is this where we are? I hope so, because I'm using another side. All right. Here we go. Hello, no makeup yet, but I will put some on just for those of you who wondering, why she looks so blank today? I'll put some makeup on later. All right, here we go. Former President Donald Trump is holding discussions about announcing a 2024 campaign, sources told The Hill. Let me change the way I look at this here so you guys can see it even better. Hold on. This cat right here, this cat right here. I don't even know. I think if he does run again, bless him heart, it's because he really wants to make it look as bad as he could. See, I saved the day again. What's the problem? What's the problem? I saved the day again. Yeah, that's what we were talking about yesterday, Betty R. We talked about that yesterday. Isn't that amazing? You see? Isn't that amazing? This is a nightmare. All right, let's get into the story here. We're talking about Mr. Naranga. Nobody but him. What the world is this? This isn't the story. Weird things are happening. That's not what we clicked. We clicked this. Now, can you see it? Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Boy. Trump flirtation with 2024 run growing more serious, sources say. Former President Donald Trump is holding discussions about announcing a 2024 campaign, sources told The Hill, with some current and former advisors believing it is a matter of when, not if, Trump will launch a third White House bid. Multiple sources told The Hill that a campaign announcement as early as this summer has already been discussed, but cautioned the situation remains fluid and it's unclear when the former president might actually jump into the race. I think there are people pulling him in that direction, and he's open to it, a former advisor said of an announcement before the midterms. One source who spoke on condition of anonymity. Yeah, don't tell nobody it was me. Don't tell nobody it was me. Hi, baby. Go lay down. Okay. Anonymity argued that there's no rush for Trump to declare his candidacy. Trump remains the most popular and influential figure in the Republican Party. Wow, Rhino Party. The source said, and the former president could afford to wait until he has a clearer campaign infrastructure in place before throwing himself fully into the White House campaign. In the meantime, advisors close to the former president said Trump will continue holding rallies for his endorsed candidates across the country as a way to address his most ardent supporters and test out potential attack lines for a would-be campaign. Brother man, go sit down. Have several seats. Multiple outlets reported in recent days that Trump had mulled a campaign launch as early as this month. Such an announcement would be remarkably early for a presidential campaign, with Election Day more than 2 years away. Some Republicans, however, fear that if Trump were to move forward with an early campaign announcement, it would ultimately hurt the party in this year's midterm elections by giving more weight to the Democrats' argument that the GOP remains inextricably linked to the former president. Quote, I think if he announces soon, it'll be good for him, bad for the party, one Republican strategist said. Republicans have had a lot of success talking about the economy and inflation and all of Joe Biden's screw-ups. No one wants to turn around and have to talk about what Trump is doing. And yet that's all they've talked about. This man is more of a Trojan horse than anything. This is all they talk about. I mean, he's like the, I don't know. He's like the talking bobblehead that never goes away. He's just there constantly. And he's been the talk of the town since 2015. Constantly. This is amazing. So what are they talking about? They don't want to talk about what he's doing. They have nothing to deal with the current president. And so that's all they do is talk about this guy. You know, and it's so sad because there are a lot of people who really do like Trump and they can't even speak about him positively anymore in public because they don't want to be lambasted. Conversely, I got a question for everybody who voted for the other guy. Yeah. Where y'all at? I come on, I don't hear you now. Too busy scraping up coins out the pickle jar. Are you too busy scraping out coins out of the bottom of that pickle jar you've been saving? You got that big 5-gallon water jug that you've been putting pennies in, and now you got to scrape it to go pay for the gas. All of us, just join the club, baby. The former president's desire to announce a campaign sooner rather than later is driven in no small part by a growing sense that such a move could help insulate him from the work of the House Select Committee investigating this farce. This is a farce. And I don't understand why nobody doesn't just come right out and say it. Please just say it. I mean, it's so amazing to me. It's like everybody sort of walks around pretending that we didn't see all those videos. I don't get it. Let me drink my coffee before I get in trouble. And the cup that I'm using today, here I open wide the door darkness there and nothing more. Can somebody finish that for me and tell me who that is? Who is it? I'll throw you something. You can tell me the quote. All right. Anyway, that was a nice little segue to get off that topic of what's highlighted on the screen, because I don't want to get myself in no mess. But I tell you one thing. Why is it that we all know that this is not real, but everybody's sort of sitting around looking at each other like, it's not real. I know it's not real. Did you see that video? Yeah. Did you see them ushering them in? Yeah. Are we supposed to say anything? I don't think so. Why? Well, because they need it. What are we going to do? This is like, woo. This is weirder than the Outer Limits. Declaring a campaign for the White House would make it easier for Trump to cast the committee's work as a partisan hit job designed to damage him before he ever has a chance to respond, the source said. And what about the bimbo that was sitting up saying all the stuff that she was saying? And I'm sitting there looking at the little girl and I'm like, this is her, right? The Cassidy chick? This girl was, I mean, you could see that she was lying. I don't get it. Anyway, former Department of Justice officials, it's like they're all in their own little mind. It's like they're all in their own little fairy tale. They're all in their own little story. And they're all like in this little, it's like a murky bowl of water, right? It's like a big murky bowl. And they just keep dumping themselves in it. And they just keep saturating themselves. And then if we're looking down at them saying, these guys are crazy, they're telling us, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're like, no, you in this murky bowl that you created for yourself. And now you're trying to get everybody else to jump in it with you. And the dodo dweebs that's out here with us, that's looking at you guys that are jumping in. You guys are nuts too. This whole thing is cuckoo. I really, really wonder what happened to us. And I don't want to hear anybody, oh yeah, but we're part of this. I get that. It's a question. It's a question. How do we get from me, a little girl walking down to go to school and I could pick off oranges off the trees all the way to school, and then I get over to this part of the of the area, and then I can take some, some plums off the trees, and I can go this way right before I get to school. I can snatch out some avocados, and I would have eaten breakfast all the way to school. Technically. How do we go from there to this stuff? How do we go from being able to just live a normal life to this stuff? All to steal a country that don't belong to you, whoever you are. Anyway, Cassidy Hutchinson, a former Trump White House aide, delivered damning testimony last week that Trump was aware some in the crowd were armed and complained that they were being kept out. They just can't stop. Anyway, I can't even do this part because all I wanted to do was talk about the fact that Mr. Naranga was about to jump back in. So anyway, it says, if he's the Republican nominee or if he's a major candidate, I think probably anyone at Twitter would find a hard time saying that that person should be denied access to the platform. This comes from Representative Ro Khanna. This is what they said on an appearance at the CNBC Squawk Box earlier this year. Now, while polling shows that Trump remains the heavy favorite for the GOP's 2024 nomination, there are signs that he may still be vulnerable to a challenge. A University of New Hampshire Granite State poll released late last month showed him trailing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as a rising Republican star and prospective 2024 contender in a hypothetical 2024 matchup. Similarly, another recent poll from the University of Nevada, Reno, showed that DeSantis's favorability rating topping that of Trump. Here's the thing. We all know this is a big circus. We all know the whole thing's a circus. The whole thing's a circus. So I've already told everybody my feelings. And if you don't remember, I'll share it again. I've already told everybody my feelings on Ron DeSantis. I think there's something about him. I don't know anything about the man's past. I don't even know where he was born. I don't know where he came from. I just know that my gut tells me There's something about him. And it's the same feeling that I had in 2016 when they pulled up Pitts as the running mate. Something about him at that moment. I couldn't put my finger on it because I get so, gone into other stuff that I really don't even focus on these people. I don't really know much about their backgrounds. I can just tell you from what I see, what I feel. And I felt something weird about him. That's what I feel about this guy. I don't feel like he is who they think he is. I think he's doing a lot of little bitty things to make everybody happy. But I feel like if people bet on moving there, they're going to be in some trouble. Because a lot of people have stormed the gates, as it were. Look at us. We can have fun here. We can live here. We can do our thing here. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. But this cat right here, if this happens and he does not make it. So look at the two scenarios. The first scenario is if he does run against Trump and then he loses, that leaves, if he runs with Trump, well, then that leaves Florida by itself and they can just stick anybody in there, right? Then that's when the real stuff gonna start to jump off, which was probably already on the books anyway. And then another thing is if Ron DeSantis decides that he wants to run against him, he's still not going to be the governor, right? Right? So that's still going to leave him uncovered with what he's been doing from face value. And whenever I see him speaking, it looks like he's really playing the role. Like, yeah, this is what we're going to do because this is who we are. They all are actors. Enter. You guys remember I put that movie up for you guys with Walter, what is his name? Walter Matthau, the name of my old dog. Enter. He was an actor. That's what this is. They're all such good actors, but are they good? Are they good? All of this garbage. If he runs, if he doesn't run, if he can run, if he can't run. Who likes him anymore? Who likes him anymore? This cat got booed when he started bringing up the guy from Johnson. And I don't mean to offend anybody who loves him. And I don't mean to offend anybody who wants to see him make it as president. Listen, this place could take anybody and put him up there. At this point, it'd be better than anybody. They could take Boo Boo the Fool off the corner selling shoes or oranges and put him in there. It'd be better than what we got right now. I would not care. I would not care. But the truth about the matter is, who still wants this cat around? Who wants any of these people? You know what I think? What would be the best thing for all of us is if each state just decided to just say, deuces, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with any of this. Deuces, I'm out. If each state just became its own and just broke off from the United States, just break all off, and everybody just going about their business. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be? I think it would be. I think it'd be great. But again, this is just, us having coffee. This is just us, doing what we do. We just having coffee. That's all, y'all. It ain't nothing fancy. It's just opinion. Who wants to come up? Anybody got anything to say this morning? You're welcome to come up if you choose. Anarchy, how are you? Haven't seen you in a minute. Let's read some of your comments here. Then irrational people will feel like they have to defend him from the crazy. And it sucks all the air out of the room. And no one is talking about anything important. And that's the point. No, I didn't know about the umbrella. Interesting. What umbrella? Oh, right here. What? Betty R, I think, would be all of y'all could be a co-host. Everybody, you could be a co-host. You could be a co-host. You could be a co-host. I just had to make sure that I came over here and started loving on you guys because my plate has been so full lately. And I feel like our home has been so stagnant. You know what I mean? I feel like our home has been so stagnant on this side. I really do. I really, really do. So that's just why I'm here today, because I want to start coming back and hanging out with us more on this side. It's so important. It is really so important. Okay. It's so important. Leaf Desi. Ryan, is that your daughter? Bless your heart. Ryan comes over here and asks that one sentence question all the time. Is that your daughter? Is that your child? Is that your daughter? Is that you? Is that your daughter? Melvin, hello. How are you? Yeah, my natural beauty. I ain't put nothing on. I need to do something, but I just cleansed the skin and put the moisturizer on it. And I was like, I should put some makeup on, but I was like, Sarah Brown says, ugh, Trump, I wish he'd just get a coconut drink with an umbrella on it. In it and disappear. Yeah, so do I. Aw, you guys are so sweet. I love you guys so much. Sarah Brown, did you know about the umbrella as a metaphor for a syringe check? Oh, really? You know what? I see that. I could see that. Wow. Wow. That's the whole point, though. Trump will say something usually true and hilarious. The people on TV will lose their minds and go off the rails. Overboard insanity, hyperbolic pearl clutching. Then rational people will feel, I get it now, I have it in context now, then rational people will feel like they have to defend him from the crazy. And it sucks all the air out of the room, and no one is talking about anything important, and that's the point. Absolutely. Absolutely. Joy Trujillo, there goes the neighborhood. DeSantis, you don't trust him either. I thought that it was just me. I just feel like there's just something about him, and I can't put my finger on it. I really can't. I really, really can't. Nope. Can't have no sweet babies in the pictures, in the videos, honey love. Never trust a short-necked man. Betty, you are too much. You are just too much. If their lips are moving, they're lying. Joy, true. Defund and dismantle the Fed. Yeah, I think we should just break off, all of us, and just go on about our way. I think it'll be the best thing. I really do. You can't divorce the parent of your child. You should be able to divorce your politicians. You can divorce your parents. You should be able to divorce the politicians. Okay. I get light. A deer. Aw. You can come on. Honestly, if people would just wake up and realize the truth, we're under a state of martial law occupied by a foreign corporation called the United States. 28 U.S.C. 3. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. If you try to tell people that, and thank God I'm up to my first full cup of coffee now. I'm finally good and awake. I can say this. A lot of people do not realize that. And so to me, there's a lot of individuals that are out here that think that things are just the way that they are because that's the way they are. I'm going to say this. I'm going to use this as an example. The other day, I was looking through the 13th Amendment. And the 13th Amendment was introduced 1810. I believe it was 1810. Pardon me if the date is wrong, but I'm using this as an example. There were only 12 states at that time that put their thumb of approval on that. And it needed one more state to be ratified. I never see the ratification, but I do see a little while later where they went ahead and you see the big fanfare and the conversation about it, being done, because I think it was one other state that had come in and said something, but there was a technicality. And I think that's the word I want to use. There was a technicality, and the technicality precluded it from being ratified. However, because of all the fanfare and because of all the conversation and because they pulled out this other state, years later, they then said, see, ratified. But my question is, why is there the ability for it to be questioned? And why is there information that shows that it was not ratified? And it's sort of like we just gloss over those kind of conversations and we just keep forging ahead. What our anarchy has on the television, on the screen here, reminds me of something like that. This is something that people know, but everybody sort of glosses over it. And I feel like we gloss over it because we want to believe that if there was any truth to it, that somebody would have come out and say and would have said something. But the reason why they don't say anything is simply because that's why it was done that way. Does that make sense? The reason why no one says anything is because it was done like that, in your face type of thing, for it to be what it is. And then all of a sudden, when they've got complete and utter control, well, this was already out here. Didn't you know that? You didn't know that? You didn't know that you should have been a part of your own state that you were born in, so that you wouldn't have to be subject to X, Y, or Z. You know, I had Sakima Bay on the channel about a year or so ago. And he made a lot of good points because he studied this kind of stuff really well. And I think I want to ask him to come back, but just on a specific topic. And we're going to talk about some stuff, because history and law, those are two things that can be manipulated. However, when you do not cross a T or do not dot an I in law, somebody is going to be the loser. And this kind of stuff right here is exactly what I'm talking about, because a lot of people refuse to understand that. When you use the term corporation with people, they're like, no, it's the United States. It's the United States. You say, no, something else has happened. Didn't you know? Maureen Olson says, did you hear about the African land snails they found in Florida? Girl, no. I need to look that up. African land snails. Let me look that up. African land snails they found in Florida. African land snails. Okay, here we go. Florida warns resident of giant African land snail that may cause, oh my. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go. This or that. This or that. This or that. It's got to be one thing or another. If it ain't this, then it's that. Let's read it. Let's get it. You guys can throw topics out because this is just chilling. We're not doing anything fancy. So I hope ain't nobody coming over here expecting that. Throw a topic. Let's get it. The giant African land snail. And it says here, did you know that some snails can cause meningitis? Did you know? Didn't you know? The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services is warning Pascal County to be aware of the giant African land snail, or GALs, that can carry a rare rat lungworm called Angiostrongylis. And it has a C word, looks like Cantonesis, which may cause meningitis in humans, according to the state's recent pest alert. The giant African land snail is one of the most invasive pests on the planet, causing agricultural and environmental damage wherever it's found, the report added. After receiving notice of a possible population of the snail in Newport Richey, Pascal County, on June the 21st, the FDACS said a property survey confirmed the presence of a white form of the giant African land snail 2 days later. Go lay down, baby. The phenotype in Pascal County has a creamy white flesh as opposed to the grayish brown flesh of the phenotype that was eradicated in the Miami area, said Aaron Moffitt, FDAC's community director. Moffitt told Fox News that Melon, a mollusk detector dog, is actively surveying for the pest. The department said on their website that they will treat the properties with specific snail bait that is a metathion-based molluscicide labeled by the United States Environmental Protection Agency for residential use, and that means nothing. You can flash one of those badges in my face all day long. I have no confidence. But anyway. Metathalahide, I think that's it, is a pesticide used to control snails that's approved for use in many crops, fruit trees, avocado, and citrus orchards, berry plants, banana plants, just messing up all the fruits and vegetables. And in limited residential areas, the department said on their website. The pesticide interferes with the snail's mucus production ability, thereby reducing their digestion mobility, which makes them susceptible to dehydration, per the website. After eating the metathalahide, the GALs often seek hiding places, then becomes inactive and begins to die within days, the department said. FDAC's division of the plant industry has begun to survey the area, enacted a quarantine, and will begin treatment for this detrimental pest on June 29th, the department said. Quote, it's unlawful to move the giant African land snail or a regulated article including but not limited to plants, plant parts, plants and soil, yard waste, debris, compost, or building materials within, through, or from a quarantine area without a compliance agreement. So leave it where you find it. Don't touch it. Don't run it to go do no tests on it yourself. Don't go digging around, taking it to no private lab to find out really what's going on, where it came from, what's in it, is it real? Don't do none of that. Stay away from it. And stay away from it now. Don't take any sand or soil samples surrounding it to find out what it looked like before you went over there. Scoop it up and then come back and take a little bit more later to juxtapose the two. Don't do nothing. Nothing. The snail is popular in the pet trade in other countries, but it is federally prohibited organism that can't be legally sold or possessed in the United States. So how did it get here? Here we come with all the regulations. Okay, I get it, but that just bugs me. How did it get here? The snail is popular in the pet trade in other countries, but it is a federally prohibited organism that cannot legally be sold or possessed in the United States, per the FDAC's report. Quote, is one of the most damaging snails in the world and consumes, it just says is. It doesn't say is it. It just says is. The FDAC's website says that it's one of the most damaging snails in the world and consumes at least 500 different types of plants. These snails could be devastating to Florida's agriculture and natural areas as they cause extensive damage to tropical, subtropical environments. The first pet was eradicated in 1975 after being detected in 1969, and most recently eradicated the pest in 2021 after detecting it in 10 whole years in Miami-Dade. The snail can cause a disease called, that word that I'm not saying again, or rat lungworm disease. I'll take it. I'll read it. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, well, we trust them. They got a badge. An affected rat coughs up worms from the lungs into the throat, where they are then swallowed by the rat. The worms are now in the rat's digestive system and eventually ends up in the rat's poop, the CDC says. We'll see how simple that is. Do you see how simple the CDC says? How did it get here, CDC? You guys know everything. And I have something that I wanted to say about the term, trusting the science. I want to talk about that term. As a matter of fact, I do. I really, really do. I really, really do. I really do. And I'm going to, because let me read this last little piece because I really got to go there for you guys right now. I really got to go there. A snail gets infected two ways: by either accidentally eating the rat's excrement or the worm penetrating the snail's body when the rat eats it. See, the CDC keeps coming up with all the CDC says the rats eat the infected slug or snail and the cycle begins all over again. How did it get here? Who brought it here? I keep saying that. I got to keep saying it because somebody knows something if it's got the chances to cause meningitis, which is really what's going around right now. Most cases of the rat lungworm disease occur in parts of Asia and Pacific Islands, but some have been in the Caribbean, Africa, and the United States, like in Hawaii and Louisiana. So why should humans worry about it, it says? People get the disease when they eat raw or undercooked snails. Ugh. Ugh. Escargot, I go fast when I see somebody offering those. That are infected with the worms, as well as eating fruits or vegetables that have not been washed well, that also contain the snails. So even though the fruits have been washed, if it's been grown in that, can you still prevent yourself from eating it just by washing it? People present with symptoms of the bacterial meningitis, such as nausea, vomiting, stiff neck, headaches, that are often global and severe, the CDC says. I'm not even going to read any more of this stuff because people are going to be walking around saying, "Oh my, I don't know. Did I run across a snail? What was in that soup? What was in the soup? Well, did you taste the soup? Yeah, I tasted the soup. Thought you said it tastes good. No, I said it tastes sort of slimy. What was in the soup?" Because everybody going to be tripping now. This is Florida Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried, Nikki whatever, and the FDACS will be holding a press conference on the recent gals detection from their Clearwater office. And it's going to be live streamed on the department's Facebook page because they got to talk about it. Wow. Thank you for telling me that story, sis. I think I'm amazed. I'm just amazed. The snail was in the soup. I thought it was okra. Nope. It was a snail. Okay. Yes, they did. Most assuredly, Michael S. says what's on the screen. And then Anarchy said, I bet salt will kill the snail. I bet you it will. You won't even have to worry about it. See, they ain't got to go do all of that. You just said it. Do you see what happens when we all get together and we use our brains? Hooray! We all get together and we all come up with a great way to fix it. Just take a little salt out yonder. Just take the salt out yonder and just get your wrist twisting like you're making stir fry. Just everybody, just get a little Morton. Just get the Morton dance. So just I bet you that'll fix it. That'll learn them. Anarchy. That'll learn them. Okay. Sarah says, how convenient. They have a poison that you can put on everything to protect you from it. How convenient. We're just going to whip this out of our little bag. Okay, Sarah Brown says those things aren't natural. I'm saying from the end. Okay? All right? Yeah, a box of salt does wonders. Isn't it awesome? Yeah, Michael, they released the propaganda about the snail. Yes, they sure did. And then here's the deal. The scary part about the whole entire thing, thank you, kind sir. The scary thing about the whole entire deal is that they've got a whole script prepared for it already. Please stay away from the snails. Don't touch the snails. Don't let the snails touch you. Don't let the snails touch you. Don't you touch the snails. Don't take nothing from the area. Why? What's in it? Don't take nothing. Not only do we not want you to take, we don't want you to touch nothing. You can't do nothing. Did you notice that part? It is illegal. It is illegal to touch anything, to go around anything. Thank you, honey. To touch anything, to go around anything, to do anything with it. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. Stand away from it. Don't look in its eyes. Don't ask any questions. Just go. We told you all you need to know. Just believe us. Now, here's what I wanted to say about that trust the S word. That whole trust the S phrase. Do you realize that is a replacement for your belief system. I said that a while ago. I forgot where I was when I said, but that whole entire phrase in and of itself is a replacement for whatever your belief system is. That's good. Hope you brought your coffee, because you know what we do when we come over here with Fefe's. Our coffee time. Do you know who you are replacing? Whatever you believe in. All right? All right? Whatever you believe in. I don't stop nobody from what they believe in. Okay? My brother! Hey, you guys. Back on the grid for a couple of days. Hello, Felicia. You said you'll never catch up. By the way, what Anarchy said regarding the corporation amendments, etc. All right. So the deal is, it most assuredly replaces your belief system. And right now, I don't want to talk about what it is you believe. That's not the conversation. Not by any stretch of the imagination. I think we've all grown up to understand a bevy of people believe a lot of different things. And you can believe what you choose to believe. That's not what the conversation's about. What the conversation's about is, when you use that sentence so eloquently and consistently that you trust the S, that is a belief system. That is a complete, unadulterated belief system. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a belief system. So now you can exchange, let's just use for colloquialism terms, just for the sake of argument, you can exchange one religion for another. Primarily. That's what you're doing. You are primarily exchanging one belief system for another belief system. Because now you've given your trust in that. Yeah. Okay. For scriptural context, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Well, what do you think trust the S means? So the answer to the question, why are so many people that are in the body doing X, Y, or Z? Well, because they continuously put that on their tongue. They continuously allow that to go off, trippingly off their tongue. Trust the S. I trust the S. I did my own research. Why? Research. I did my own research. Study to show thyself approved. That's what you did. You studied to show yourself approved. You trust the S, then you did your study, and you went in their manual and you studied what they said. So their manual clarified to you what they wanted you to know. You gained strength for it, you gained faith for it, and now you got all your family members wondering what have happened. They used to be so strong for the Lord. All of these places wide open. All of these places wide open. And nobody asking any questions. You got all of these folks just walking in lockstep. I was invited not long ago to somebody's place of worship, and I thought it was a very nice gesture. I don't ever knock anybody for inviting you somewhere. And I really don't want any of us to get like that, where we're all so nervous. So I know he talked to me about the Bible. He talked to me about this. Now, he talked to me about Jehovah's Witness. Big deal. It shouldn't shake you. Do you believe in what you believe in? Stand 10 toes, right? 10 toes. All right. So when they invited me, I was being very polite. It was a conversation in the grocery store. I had two of my grandchildren with me. You have to teach the children how to be respectful of others and what it is that they believe in without losing your lunch. Okay. So I asked them a couple of questions. I said, okay, well, where are you located? You're located down on such, okay, well, that's very nice. And they said, yeah, if you want to come, you got to call ahead and answer some questions on a panel. They're going to ask you a few questions. And then they're going to tell you where to park to enter. So make sure you got this on and make sure you had this, because they won't let you in if you didn't have it. Because what? Because that particular body that calls themselves Christians trusted the S And the S became their capital G to them. Same thing. All they did was you got jacked out of your belief system. You got hijacked. People were hijacked and they don't even get it. You are hijacked because you exchanged one safety net for the other safety net. You did. Trust it. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to thine own understanding. See, we're losing some people when we start telling the truth. Start losing some people when we start to tell the truth. Yeah, look at us. Well, we went from 20 down to 18. Yeah, that's what happens, man. That's what happens, man. Yeah, that's what happens. You give up one for the other. And so here's the answer. I'm going to roll that beautiful bean footage of an answer. I'm going to give you the answer. The answer to our question, why would so many believers believe this stuff? And why would so many believers do X, Y, or Z? Why would they do this? Well, just because they put their trust in what their eyes could tell them. They put their trust in what their eyes could see. They put their trust in what they chose to believe. And again, the belief, see, there's a thin line there. It's a thin line. You ever hear the phrase, it's a thin line between love and hate? That's because they're both in the same compartment, but there's a little line that divides them. So that little line of demarcation is what divides them. It's the same thing with this. Your belief system, right there, you don't understand that the principles are exactly the same. And so what we end up doing is looking for answers, and there's not going to be any answers because the fact is that little line of demarcation is right there. This is believing in our Father, and this is believing in anything else we choose to put our faith in. Why? Because faith cometh by hearing, and hearing the word of God. Faith cometh by hearing, period. So that means whatever you're hearing on this side, that little thin line of demarcation, constantly, you grow and you build that faith. Like the little bitty mustard seed that turns into this big, gigantic, strong tree, you build that faith. But, and hearing the word of God. See how that works? See how that works? So that gives us the answer of why did so many of them? I can't believe it. Look at me. From a family of ministers, from a family of ordained licensed people who trust in the Lord, who laid hands on people to receive healing. But this is what they've done. So when they told me that you have to call the number and then they give you a survey, and then after the survey, you have to let them know if you've had this, and you have to wear this, and you have to sit like, if you bring in 10 people with you, you got to all sit, man, bye with that. You can go on with that fear. You can go on with that. You just respectfully say, oh, thank you so much. What a wonderful, offering you've given to me, or a wonderful invitation. I so appreciate you. Thank you so much. You never show up. Never show up. Or you're just like me. I'm sorry. This is what I said to them. I'm not going to, as my grandsons say, no cap. I'm not going to lie. Okay? No cap. Not going to lie. What I really said was, I'm sorry. I don't do all that, but thank you. Thank you for the invitation. That's what I honestly said. Thank you so much for the invitation, but I don't do all of that, but thank you. Thank you for trying. Thank you. You be respectful, but you just let them know, I don't do all that. I'm not about to go through all of that. Especially to sit here and listen to this dry milk toast. No, thank you. Regurgitated garbage. Pass the plate. Regurgitated garbage. Please, I don't know what the likes look like out there. Let me go out here and see. Let's get a few likes if you haven't already. Okay, bless their heart, right, Michael? Bless your heart, baby. We gotta do our southern. Bless your heart. Bless your heart, baby. Okay, all right. Anarchy. The truth becomes. Yep. You already know. I forgot who made that original quote, but yes. Joy Trujillo, a thin line between. Yes, it is. Thank you, Sarah. Hit the like. Thank you, baby. Leaf Desi, I would if I knew how. So it's just one of those things where I was thinking, I was like, you know what? When you keep saying you trust this word, and I mean, I can just count. I can't even fathom how many times I heard that over the last couple of years. And now, such and such is having surgery. Your dad is having X. This person is having that. Oh, thus and such has tumors, and now they're not well because of X. They don't know what it is, and they just got through cutting on her about 2 weeks ago for X, Y, or Z. After she had her post-op checkup, she was okay, and now, well, she's going back in because there's something else they found. And it's like a continuous. Tam, hey, Tammy S. It's like a continuous treadmill. It never ends. It never ends. It never stops. It never slows. It just keeps going until there's nothing left to pull, to plug, to cut, to plug up, to solder. And then it's just constantly pumping. This is like a business. It's like a business model. Think about that. You get a lot of customers. You augment and change all the laws and everything. And then you create something where you're going to have a continuous base of customers. And then you beef up the infrastructure of the hospitals and the doctor's office. Beef it up. Bring in people from other countries. Just beef it up. And now, after you had the issue, you beefed up the infrastructure. Now you got individuals that are constantly coming back and forth. It's like an veritable smorgasbord of customers. It never ends. As long as we cut this, snip this, burn this, tuck this, move that out the way, the next one, we can see the next piece. We're going to tuck that, cut this, smooth this, solder this, turn this, pull that out the way. And now look at you. We created Frankenstein. We got Frankenstein. Woo! Okay. Now we've got a continuous amount of customers that'll never go away. And once that one goes away, it's okay. We'll just cut, snip, tuck, move this stuff out the way, push you over here, and fill you up with a whole bunch of pills. Here, take that. And now move you out the way. And guess what happens now? My brother Smitty, okay, and old cousin Lovejoy, they come in with their black bolas, all right, with their black suits. We're so very, very sorry for your loss. For only $62,000, you can get our Level A package. Have you seen how much traffic these joints have been getting? Let's just uncover it all, unpack it all. Let's just talk about the real. Because this right here is what's really going on. That's what's really going on. You got a whole bunch of this over here. We're going to give you a whole bunch of these. Then we're going to sew you up, snip you, move you over here. And when we're done and we can't sew or snip anymore, then we're going to send you downstairs. We're going to have Cousin Lovejoy and Uncle Smitty's truck come pick you up, take you over there to the place. They're going to start taking out all kind of pieces, what they can use. And they're going to have another truck come and take that and take those pieces over yon. We're going to sell those over there. And then we're going to take what's left of you, put you in a $62,000 box. Because, well, now it's a demand. If you want the Cadillac of permanent housing, that's going to cost you close to $85,000. All right. And if you want the beautiful cars to come with it, we're going to add another 10 or 15 on for that. Oh, you don't have a pastor? No worry. Cousin Smitty's Uncle Bubba can come and do the service for you. That's for another small fee. Just an additional $800. And then we can have his ex-wife's baby mama come in and sing. I'm making a comical, but this is exactly what has happened over the past couple of years. This is exactly what's happened. It's been an increased boom in this particular genre, this particular grouping. So it's been a complete bubble, and everything inside that bubble is all relating to one thing. That. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's just my theory. That's just my theory. That's all. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Who am I? Nobody. Come on. Come on. Here I open wide the door. Darkness there and nothing more. Quote the Raven. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Let's get into some of these comments here. Let's get into some of these. Let's see what's going on. Camel in the eye of the needle. Yes. Joy Trujillo says a thin line between life and death. Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah Brown. They're loving on one another. Hit the like. Thank you, my dear. Alrighty. More love from Steve Willis to Leaf Desi. All right. Let's see. Anarchy is having a good time laughing. It might take a lot of memory on SD card, but could be good on those spiritual lessons. Yes, ma'am. Better snatch them quick these days. Tammy S. Love the frosted hair. A slab of meat in a butcher shop. Okay. You see what it is? You see what it is, Sharon? You see what it is? You see. Isn't that something? They made them heroes, and now get on up out of here. Why? Because they don't need you no more. They don't want you no more. They don't want you no more. Nope. You ain't needed. You ain't wanted. Who do you think you are? You ain't needed. You ain't wanted. Who do you think you are? Get on up out of here. Get on up out of here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Well-trained, right? Well-trained. All of the above, well-trained. So, again, you guys, we're just chilling again. We're not doing anything extra fancy. This is just the jazz, Fefe's repetitive loop that my big brother Steve does not like. He's like, lose that. I can't stand it. And, you know, we got dinged for it. But Ronnie created some. And so we're going to put those on. Let's see what else we got. Feeding the ducks. Let's feed the ducks. Feeding the ducks. And I told you guys we were getting hit for these. However, it looks like the legal from StreamYard got in touch with the legal from YouTube and stopped them from abusing those of us who were using these background tracks that they put inside of their platform that we pay for ever so gently every month. All right. All right, you guys, we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna be back in our house over here. Okay, we've done enough elsewhere. We're gonna do what we gotta do elsewhere because we love elsewhere. But we gotta start beefing us back up over here. We just have to. So I want everybody to remember to please go to Felicia at FeliciaLockhart.com or visit FeliciaLockhart.com. Just go there. Go to FeliciaLockhart.com. Listen, we put the one video of Dr. Cynthia McKinney over there. Dr. Cynthia McKinney. That one video that we did not post elsewhere is over there. So go to the website, FeliciaLockhart.com. And if you want to get in contact with me, if you would like for me to maybe do a coaching session, you can go to info@FeliciaLockhart.com right there from the website. All right? You can check it out. You can see where we're going to be very soon. You can see what we're doing. You can find out all kinds of things again and book your coaching session there. I do not coach men. I do not coach men. I only coach women. That's it. I coach adolescent youth. Yeah. No worries. No problem. Some would say, well, why are you doing that? You can make a lot of money if you do that. I don't want to coach no men. That's not my calling. I'm not called to talk to men. I don't even like talking to my sons. I love them and I give them wisdom. But I tell you what, that's a book for another day. Anyway, so let's see. What do we got going on down here? Thanks, lady. All right. All right. And so what we're going to do going forward is we're going to make sure that we put the link out there or I would like to find a way to put the link in a place where you guys only can get it. Maybe I can put the link in the members only and only you guys can see it. because I was on a platform just recently and I saw somebody snatch the link and come in and do something really mean and wicked. And it wasn't very nice. And so we're not going to allow that to happen here. So what I will do is when I am going to invite you guys to come up and chat, you all can just snatch the link and come on up. We can hold up to 10 people that comes here. It'll be inside of our community tab under the members only tab. How about that? And you guys will see that. Okay? That way you guys can come on, chill out, hang out, all of that. Why not? All right. So Maureen says, have a great day, everyone. Miss Lockhart, I really believe that you are necessary. Keep doing what you're doing. I think that I'm just a little kooky grandmother, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you, Fefe. Oh, thank you, baby. It's nice being with you. But we got to come back over here every day and do our gig, because this is our gig. This is it. We've had 1 year where we've been sort of, broken apart and moved around. But I'm getting back to what the channel started out with. We're adding more of our Ezekiel readings, more of our biblical conversations, more balance, just everything. You cannot remove the spiritual piece from life. It's just impossible, because no matter what conversation you have you noticed that we all circle back and it ends back dealing with the spiritual piece? Everything ends up dealing with some type of scripture. Even people who say they don't like scripture or they don't like the Bible, you find that they come up using the scriptures. Why? Because real is real, and that's just all there is to it. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank all of you guys for hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same bad channel. I want you guys to remember also one more thing, and that is that we are going to be live at 2 o'clock today. 2 o'clock today. 2 o'clock today. And all you got to do is go to Blog Talk Radio. That's it. Blog Talk Radio, 2 o'clock today. And we'll see you there. And that's the Felicia Lockhart Show, or it also will come up as the Lockhart Perspective. So if you go to Blog Talk Radio, the phone number is, did we make a commercial spot for that? I think we did, but I don't, is it here? I'm going to give you guys the number. I'm going to put it in our community tab. Why don't I know it by heart? Why? I don't know. Could it be because I have so many PIN numbers in my brains? I don't know. The honesty is just smothering you, isn't it? I'm being honest. I don't remember the number. But I know that it's a 505 number, or is it a 515 number? It's a 5 something, right? I don't remember. I got the little one over here with his hands in his pocket like, would you get off of there already? Can we please talk? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I need. You know what I want. Get out of there, lady. So this is what we're going to do today. For those of you who do know how to get over there, you can go online right now to Blog Talk Radio. Look up the Lockhart Perspective. It'll give you the phone number. Just join us 2 o'clock today. And then I'll probably drop you a little commercial in a few minutes here to let you know how to get us. But nonetheless, it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay? 2 o'clock Central Time. So we'll talk soon. I want you guys to remember something that we always say here on this channel, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. You guys take care of yourselves first, and then I want you to take care of everybody else. And until we see each other again, please continue to be blessed. I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe.